Silent night, holy night. Hey, Bay Ridge Christian Church. In this Advent season, we're talking about each week about a different aspect of the gospel. And this week, we're talking about hope. And so today, I'd like to turn to the book of Job. Job, really? Does anyone in the Old Testament suffer more unjustly than Job? Job loses his children, he loses his livestock, he loses his wealth, Job loses his health, and we learn none of it is his fault. Can this Job, this innocent sufferer, really tell us much about hope? Well, yes. In fact, Job can tell us a lot about hope because Job contrasts almost perfectly the two different ways people go about finding hope. And I'm not just talking about religious people, I'm talking about all of us because everyone wants to believe life is going to work out for them. But many of us, whether we're super religious or super anti-religious, we're looking for hope in all the wrong places. We see examples of that when Job's friends come to comfort him. Job, they say, you must be doing something wrong. There must be something in your life that isn't right. They say, just devote yourself more fully. Be a better person. Stretch out your hand to God, and He'll show you mercy. We're familiar with that advice, aren't we? Maybe that's what we believe as well. It's pretty much the foundation of most every religion in the history of the world. If I just behave more morally, if I just buckle down and mind my P's and Q's, if I'm a nicer person, then God will owe me. God will have to reward me. Or maybe you don't care about God. You find hope in other ways. If I just eat better, if I work out better every day, if I study harder, if I commit myself to social justice, if I'm a great mom, a great dad, a great fill in the blank here, then everything will go my way. That's how most people look for hope, and it doesn't work most of the time, at least over the long haul, because the storms come no matter how hard you try, and when they do, they'll devastate your hope. Job shows us a different approach. What's Job's answer? Where does Job find hope in the midst of unjust, undeserved, innocent suffering? We find it in the text for today's devotion. Let me read from Job chapter 19, verse 25. I know that my Redeemer lives, and that in the end he will stand on the earth. And after my skin has been destroyed, yet in my flesh I will see God. I myself will see him with my own eyes, I and not another. How my heart yearns within me. Job tells us here that there are three aspects to his hope, and none of them have anything to do with his working a little harder or being a better person or exercising a little more diligently. Let me break it down into three key words. The first word is Redeemer. He says, I know my Redeemer lives. What's a Redeemer? And the Bible gives us a lot of examples. Noah was a Redeemer. So was Joseph, who saved his brothers from the famine. Moses redeemed his people from slavery. Samson saved the Israelites from the Philistines. Boaz was a redeemer. So were David and Daniel and Esther. The Bible's full of them. And these are just a few of the examples. But Job is saying there's a better redeemer, a better Noah, a better Joseph, a better Moses. Job is saying there's a redeemer that rescues not just from Philistines or famine or treachery, but there's a redeemer who rescues even from death. Job is looking for an answer. He asks more than 20 times, why God, why me? But he's never given an answer. Instead, he's given Christ, who is God in the flesh, to join in his suffering, take on all the pain and treachery and heartache the world can offer, and then transform that hellish torment into abundant life. Job is just a pale and faded picture of innocent suffering. He's only a rough outline of what innocent suffering looks like. Christ is the ultimate reality. He's the real innocent sufferer. Christ is the Redeemer who doesn't just lift us out of the pit, he joins us in the pit and then transforms that pit into paradise. The second word to focus on is the word earth. Job says, in the end, this Redeemer will stand on the earth. Job isn't saying he hopes to depart this terrible planet He's saying his future, God's future, is here on earth. There are no clouds and harps and angels' wings when bells tinkle. There's a new life, and it's here on earth. And finally, there's the third word, it's flesh. Job says, in my flesh I will see God. Yes, his skin will be destroyed, but it will be restored. Yes, his body will pass away into dust, but that dust will be raised to new life. Yes, death comes, but we will pass through death, and in our resurrected bodies, we will experience glorification. And in our flesh, we will see God. Job says, I myself will see him with my own eyes, I and not another. Job's friends were wrong. You can experience terrible suffering, and you don't have to do anything to earn it. But you don't have to do anything to earn the love of your Lord either. He already loves you. He loves you so much, he died for you. But he is risen, and you will see him face to face in your flesh. That's Job's hope. We live in the midst of division and chaos and pandemics and material want and failing health and heartache. But whatever storm bears down on you, you can have the same hope that sustained Job through innocent suffering. Because when you put your faith in the ultimate innocent sufferer, you can say with Job, I know that my Redeemer lives.